Hello and welcome to Porch Time with Bill Benson. The porch is always a fun place for me to hang out and be. And I get the opportunity to bring in some friends and new friends, old friends that are playing music, singer-songwriters, and I'm having a whole bunch of fun, and hopefully you are as well. This episode I have friend and country guy, I believe, Jason Gerrish. Jason,
hey,
thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right, and Jason is a singer-songwriter with a cowboy hat from Bristol, Connecticut, and I'm going to let you speak a little bit about who you are and what you are as a musician.
Okay, well, once again, my name is Jason Gerrish. I've been doing this approximately a little over 4 years. I kind of got to a point in my life, I think probably similar to Bill, where I kind of said, well, I ain't getting any younger, so if I'm going to do something.
I think it was a lot of years difference.
Yeah.
But yes.
I don't know the timeline, but yeah, it's always been a passion of mine. It's always been something that God put in my heart. So I decided one day I better do this or just kind of be miserable at day-to-day jobs every day. So here I am, and now I'm the director of music at the Bristol Farmers Market, which is I've actually booked Bill a couple of times there, and a good time, and been doing my thing. Got a CD out, Menthol Memories, Whiskey Wishes, working on another one. And that's kind of where we are.
When did you first start writing a song that you went, oh, I can do this?
It was probably close to that time period, about 4 years ago, which is kind of, I've dabbled before, but never really took it seriously up until that point. And a friend of mine had just opened up a music venue, and she was looking for acts, and that kind of coincided around that time. I said, well, maybe it's time for me to get serious about this. Maybe. So I ended up hosting an open mic there and just started writing stuff, and things escalated from there.
It's very important on the porch, because time goes by quickly, that we start playing right away. And we can talk forever, but play a song.
All right, and this is actually that song that I wrote. So this is the first song I wrote for Menthol Memories, Whiskey Wishes, and it's kind of the one that started all off. This is a song called Training Wheels. I'm just an old set of training wheels sitting on the shelf, no longer useful. I was left here by myself. Figure she's outgrown me and moved on to someone else. No longer needs me. I was left here by myself. I'm just an old broken toy perched up on this rack, waiting for my owner to come back. Dated and obsolete, busted and incomplete, shelf life expired, quickly retired, holy and rusted, broken, busted. I'm an old faded picture, matted in this frame, tepid and cold, burned out old flame. I'm just an old worn out mitt hanging on the wall, seen its last game, caught its last ball. Dated and obsolete, busted and incomplete, shelf life expired, quickly retired, holy and rusted, broken, busted. I'm just an old set of training wheels sitting on the shelf.
So, Jason, what inspired you for that song?
Well, that song was inspired by a series of past relationships where, whether it be professional, personal, romantic, whatever, that people will sometimes kind of use you and use you up and put you on a shelf. So that's kind of the analogy of the training wheel is, like a child uses a set of training wheels, that's kind of how I think some people perceive other people.
True.
So that's unfortunately the origin of that song. And I just wrote that one night where I was feeling particular. I think I had a migraine. And I was like, wow, this is not a happy moment for me. So let's.
No. Now, have you always been a fan of country music?
I have not always been a fan of country music, and I'm always honest about that. As a kid, I couldn't stand it. I mean, my father was was the hardcore old school country type stuff, and I never grew to appreciate that until I got older and started writing songs and looking at these the lyrics and saying, wow, this is some great stuff here. And it tells a story. It's truly American, and it's just some great music, and because I always grew up, I was into the metal and punk, and that's kind of what I enjoyed listening to. But
well, country and folk, and I mean, there's a lot of personal things in all music, but folk music, Americana, country. I mean, I think there's a certain honesty.
Yes, absolutely.
That is not necessarily prevalent in a lot of other music. So, and I always look at it this way: if I love a lot of different music, but I love listening to it, but I feel it, and when you feel it, then suddenly it just kind of it's a natural thing. So
exactly. I mean, for instance, that song. I mean, that something like that is very cathartic. So and it's very honest. And you don't always tell. You don't let the truth get in the way of a good story ever. But at the same time, there's always a grain of truth, which is an inspiration for things.
Play another.
Sure. All right. What I'm going to do now is, this is another song off of Menthol Memories, Whiskey Wishes. This is a song called Two Kids in the Dirt. And I always like to kind of send this out to my father. He was a World War II veteran who passed away, appropriately enough, on Memorial Day. And this is called Two Kids in the Dirt. Tonka truck and some old toy cars. Imagination will take them far. Just a sandbox on a day in June. What a great way to spend an afternoon. A couple of friends in the summer sun. Long before winter spoils their fun. Pair of BFFs with no regrets. This is good as good gets. Just two kids in the dirt. Just two kids in the dirt. High school ball was a little rough, but nothing's lost when you're this damn tough. A wide receiver and a quarterback, one hell of a passing attack. The other team didn't have a prayer. Once that ball was in the air. Saturday nights out in the field, everyone drank while they four-wheeled. Just two kids in the dirt. Just two kids in the dirt. Wide-eyed teens, so gung-ho. Grew up watching G.I. Joe. Touching down in a foreign land, in a world covered in sand. Had each other's back until the end. You never let down your best friend. Arlington was the final spot. Side by side, their resting plots. Gave their lives for all it's worth. Whole lot more than just two kids in the dirt.
Very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Very nice. So, in listening, trying to understand lyrically where you went, where you found that, where did you find that?
Lyrically, I mean, that kind of, that's not, I mean, we all kind of know people have gone off to war, that have enlisted, friends of ours and whatnot, and that was kind of an amalgamation of a lot of stories, and I tried to make it as universal as possible, something that people can relate to, because we all know, you know, somebody that kind of went off and never came back, you know, and
in my time it was the Vietnam War and, you know, the draft and you know, guys, friends left and didn't come back.
Right.
You know, the way they left. So.
No, absolutely.
So yeah, so it's great.
And that's a huge issue concerning veterans right now. You know, things such as PTSD and treatment of. I mean, that's something that needs to be addressed with veterans coming back. Is
absolutely
mental health. And
you give someone gives their, you know, by their oath of and you know, really they need to be looked after and taken care of in a way that they should never really have to suffer or worry.
And that's something that, like I had mentioned before, my father was a World War II veteran. We had to last year, unfortunately he passed away, and we had to view kind of the medical system and how flawed it really is at the moment. And that's why I kind of like to send that out to him every time, because it's like, wow, this guy who fought in one, you know, a world war, and you know, and that's and gave his service, and it all comes down to you know, sometimes some not so great medical treatment.
Absolutely,
you know,
absolutely. So you are a new dad.
Yes, I am.
By how many months now?
Waylon Bradley Gerrish, that's my son. He was born January 24th.
Right.
So he's
now. Waylon is not a common name.
No, it is not.
But there's Waylon Jennings, right?
Correct, yeah.
Which is country.
Yeah.
Bradley is Brad Paisley, which is country.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awesome. I think Waylon is an awesome name that you just don't hear very much.
You don't, no, and you know, at least not in this area of the country.
Right,
don't. And, I mean, it's derivative of the Irish name Wayland. You know, so it has its origins, I should say. That's kind of where the name Waylon comes from.
Now, have you written a song for him yet?
I've got some ideas. I kind of got something that I might be. I haven't had a whole lot of time to write lately.
No, you're a new dad.
So that's
between working and new dadding and
maybe one of those 3 a.m. feedings.
Yeah.
You
know, baby in one hand, guitar in the, or a pen in the other.
Yeah. So, but I got some ideas. I've got some ideas floating around. As a songwriter, you pick up everything as far
There's always like bing, bing, bing,
exactly.
Bing, bing.
You get little I have, if you look at my computer at home, the screen, the desktop is just littered with notes. And some of them are just fragments of songs, fragments of ideas that might become songs someday.
Yeah,
and
I know.
I'm sure you're well aware of it.
Absolutely. Notepads, and computers and everything. Sorry about cold here.
Oh, it's a dry air.
Play another.
Okay, yeah, sounds like a good idea. Why don't we do something on a little lighter note? Maybe I actually do write some happy songs. And with every hypnotic sway, just blows me away. Make me want you with every move, every angelic note that fills me with hope. Seeing that face that fills me with grace. Well, they tell me she's amazing, though. Well, I say, yes, I know. It fills my heart just to know that I'm a small part of the show. Smile that smile, make me stay a while. Flash those legs, come on girl, don't make me beg. Those eyes, how they hypnotize. You I adore, more and more. Well, they tell me she's amazing though. Well, I say, yes, I know. Fills my heart just to know that I'm a small part of the show. Well, every hypnotic sway just blows me away.
So when was the, and I put people on spot all the time, but so you wrote your first song, real song that you play still 4 years ago or so?
Approximately, yeah.
When did you write your last one?
My last one, wow.
Pre-Whalen. I get pre-Whalen.
It's probably close to a year ago or
Really?
so. Yeah, it just like I said, it's been so crazy. And before I get too much further, I just want to send a hell out to my beautiful wife Jenna, who's in the control room right now.
Yay.
So without her, I obviously couldn't have Whalen, and couldn't do all the things I do. I mean, so God bless her and thank you.
Mm-hmm. No, wonderful.
You know.
Now, I'll put you on the spot again. Did you write it? Have you written a song for Jenna?
I have been working on something for a while, and you know, the whole thing with Whalen and everything kind of came up. It's like, wow, I've been, once again, just like with Whalen, I've been floating ideas out there. I've got little fragments of stuff.
He loves you, Jenna. He loves you. He just hasn't written the song yet.
No, I'm working on it. No, trust me, that there are lyrics and we're working on it.
Now, occasionally you do play together, right?
Yes, we do,
Because
yeah.
Jenna sings and plays guitar.
Well, she plays. She doesn't like to sing publicly, but she plays. Yeah.
Well, that's a great family, opportunity and family thing to do together.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a passion that you have.
It's wonderful. Like I mean, you've seen us play at the farmers market, and it's a great thing to kind of sit down. I mean, the first time. Before we were even going out, one of the most amazing things she did was we had a mutual friend, Lenny, who I would go and hang out with, and he's the one who actually brought her down to the farmers market for the first time. And one day I go to see them hang out, and she was playing one of my songs.
Oh, really?
Which was just like, holy cow. Okay,
right.
I've never had.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, never had anybody do that before, and that was incredible. It was like,
well, you know, we unfortunately we often have so much. I have, and hopefully you have had fun on the porch, and all of a sudden, time starts to tick down because we are only a half-hour show. So I wanted to thank you for coming on, Jason.
Thank you for having me, man.
And what I ask everyone to do is, if there's something specific you want to convey to our viewers, now's the time.
Okay.
Or you can just start to play us out, and away we go.
Well, I probably should instruct them. You can find me on Facebook. Go to my website. It's jaygerr.com, JAYGERR.com, and you can purchase my music on there. You can find out more about me there. I'm on Facebook, like I said. You sign up for my newsletter. I do a somewhat monthly newsletter, and yeah, that's how you can find. We got some exciting things coming up. Once again, I'll be doing the farmers market in Bristol. We got the Goshen Stampede, which I'll be playing again, which we've got is pretty cool because a band by the name of Lenko is the headliner there, and they actually had a #1 hit in the country charts. Cool. Greatest Love Story, I believe, is the song, and so that's going to be real exciting. So we got some cool things coming up, and check it all out on the site. And
perfect.
All that.
Play us out, Jason.
All right. Lay your baggage on the floor. Your wounds don't scare me anymore. We've all got our cuts and bruises. We've all run from our accusers. Bolt the door behind you. That wolf will find other prey to chew. I got plenty of warmth in here, plenty enough to dry away your tears. You know where I keep the birds.